Sunday in Azerbaijan. It's feature race day on the street. Here is the circuit at round 4 of FIA Formula 2's 2023, with action all the way through 20 turns, and Formula 1 later on today in his 4th Grand Prix start. Logan Sarge in a lot of action this weekend as well. And Yuri Vips in the feature race. It ain't over till it's over.
Certainly isn't, but the start of the race, 18 degrees cooler in terms of track temperature.
It's a lot of things to remark upon. Enzo Fittipaldi didn't, because it was already hard enough throwing on the anchors down at turn 1. So all of the...
With the steering wheel 15 degrees out way back on Friday. Start this race, so much difficulty with the medium at the end of the race yesterday. 4th tyre warm-up. As we look then down the grid.
All today in Formula 2 for him for the feature. Enzo Fittipaldi alongside Hulkenberg looking to make amends after that late crash. Same applies to Daruvula, not really his fault. 10, and then it's the experienced Ralph Boschung next to Trident's Roman Stanley places. Same applies to Juan Manuel Correa. Jack Doohan looking to find some 2 on the grid. Amory Cordial lines up next to
tyre before switching over onto the medium. Expect to see a mid 30-second drop plus tyre attacks to go on top of every single pit stop. These drivers...
Driver, the 17-year-old Oliver Bearman, who became the youngest...
Yeah, that was a small to improve on my lap. To be honest, I have no idea how I did it. Yeah, was even possible.
So Oliver, fastest lap point and 10 for victory yesterday. This man's going 17. Got a penalty for the sprint race, but he did cross the line first to winning. But they are paying attention. That is why Formula 2 goes racing on the...
Yesterday's sprint race, the primacy really dialed in here. Both of you have got the track dialed in. It's incredible what you can achieve, even by Oliver Bearman in the Prema. In what is a very beneficial... got that braking zone down into turn 1, which you can hook the wheels in, and I've yet to spot a car starting on the medium tyres, Mr. J.
Of the field, lining up in 17th and 18th are the only ones on the... And Formula 2 goes racing on the streets of back. Better behaved through there today than it was, but this is Formula 2 now. Comparison to yesterday, Bearman with the dream getaway, Bearman with the lead.
Yeah, Bearman throughout the field. Even the leaders with difficulties, we've got the Camposes.
There to tell you the difference, getting past his experienced teammate. He's not the only one. Doing in the middle there in car 14 in the Alpine livery, removed from Victor Martins as they take it up through this flat.
Early management here as drivers try to extend this stint and make it to lap 8 or 9 in order to have a safe.
He gets closer, closer, closer still, and wafts one to the inside. Now driving on his mirrors, allowing Bearman to just extend that gap at the front.
Look,
Pourchaire moving up, didn't have it on the main straight after 1 lap this year. 2nd victory of the year.
Well, Fittipaldi struggling for pace a little bit, I would say, in that roadie start. I think I've seen all year. Oliver Bearman got a really nice launch. Hustle down towards turn 3, the 2 white cars at the base of your picture. But
car, it's an ART in this championship. He went from 8th on the grid.
From Zane Maloney's perspective, started 9th. He's still 9th. Now we're going to have a look at down the inside, but you can see how much more purchase the cars...
One in the race, Pourchaire on the charge, past Fittipaldi in the braking zone. One Prema putting pressure on for the podium place, the other one.
Than the leaders at the front of this race, and he's made a half-second... Wow! Different brake. It's like they were braking for a different corner.
Street tracks so far this year cost him a bit of confidence in Jeddah. Bearman in his rookie season, Pourchaire in his 3rd. Experience telling as well. Victor...
This one's not over because we do know how strong that Prema is.
Compared, but yesterday it was a tailwind down there. Today it's a crosswind there, and this is Hauger going wheel to wheel with Crawford. Is the room. Crawford maintaining 6th place at the moment.
High stake stuff from Crawford.
Loney and Stanek, the fastest lap at the moment, belongs to Kushmini.
Absolutely correct about that wind speed, Alex. Swinging around past and actually given Bearman the opportunity to scamper away quickly. Look,
his teammate.
Come on, we're quicker than Fittipaldi. Need to pass him quick. Come on.
Once more, Bestie and Bearman, the class of the field in terms of pace, yes, 5th, but Bestie will be looking to make that move in short order.
After Bearman made a bolt for it, he really did try to break away from the pack there before he pit stopped, and we'll see a flurry of activity. You've got to get to the end of lap 6 before...
In the early laps, and then Pourchaire made that move, the ultimate pace of that Prema, maybe even a strategic tapped back into that early pit stop and take the medium long.
In this category to his name, and he will be trying to fight through on the medium, can come at any moment, as we saw with a late crash at turn 15 yesterday. Now the fastest lap, softest available in the Formula 2 range that we'll use all year. Laps ago is now watching in the mirrors as Fittipaldi
keeps the matched with Crawford ahead, or at least with the DRS, able to hang experience in a Formula 2 car as Teo Pourchaire. I doubt is going to let him do that. That is interestingly enough, with Martins on his gearbox. We know that the overcut is available. We know how hard it's going to be in terms of track position, while your rivals are skidding up, trying to build temperature.
Really, let's deal with this possible overtake first of all. No, Vesti's not in. Take a while for him to generate that tyre temperature. To Rouvelet, surprised to see him switch at the earliest possible opportunity.
We've got Leclerc, Boschon, a very specific window where they pitted and the rest of the field. A very important phase for all of these drivers.
Now bringing the tyre temperature in, trying to generate it himself. There's no tyre. Fittipaldi, after a tough day yesterday on the medium tyre, looking much happy to box this lap.
Yeah, confirm, mate, box this lap, box this.
To cut to the pit lane, pop a set of medium tyres on, which grid box is that Victor Martins? It is Victor Martins in the background.
First of all, the road in Carlin being serviced by the position though over Crawford. That's important. So he's still got
seconds in these early laps.
Let's watch this lap.
So might try the overcut, might try to go one more. Big slide through the exit of 15, no harm done.
So Rouvelet on board. That is a Prema running out of tyres. You can see it from the exit of turn. Surely they will both come into the pits, mirror what each other do, and that means no intervention for a virtual safety car or a full safety. And he is staying out on track, so he becomes the race leader. He takes Hadjar, who's to see where they are in relative to the other three cars. They were back
strategically. They were a long way ahead in realistic terms, weren't they? When they came and for sure as
Correa sending one to the inside.
Already scrubbed. They scrubbed them in practice on Friday, which is why they have that cut lane.
That's what we've been telling you about. Wonderful illustration of what they're doing. A long way back. Martin's stuck behind him. Trying to pull.
Why he's so far back.
Yes.
They'll now, while Behrman and Pourchaire pick up their stop. We're still waiting for Hadjar. We're still waiting for Verschoor.
But he's in no mood to wait around. Vesti being held up by Verschoor. And then the two drivers on the alternative strategy. Here is the move through. So we did see a yellow flag a few moments ago, and 15 is off the road again, and that brings out the virtual
circuit.
Hearing this is down at turn 4.
In warming it up, and then the flick turn, which I thought he put on Zane Maloney. Isaac Hadjar then, in the real terms, in the practical term, in the dams, behind him, but we're still expecting to see them. Reasonably likely, I would say, that Behrman, who is 12 seconds for them, Benavidez' car moved back behind the wall.
Around the Baku City circuit, lap 11 of 29, just 2 stop under the virtual safety car, so they're continuing out there. They don't really have there. You can see there he is coming through the final turn, but we're focused a lot with virtual safety cars, and the green flag is out. We're back racing once again.
Tyres and brakes, and this will be a tricky few corners for them in close proximity. It could, with a late race safety car, the two stopper would not be as difficulties we saw with a low gauge medium tyre.
I am racking my brain. I can only remember one safety car. It didn't count as his mandatory stop. He said, okay, cool, on that strategy. This is the most obvious strategy we've ever seen Japanese driver, and Hadjar had really good pace in practice, but
I thought, you know what, I'm just going to cruise in, go long, see what happening in 6th place, still staring at the back of the road in Carlin of Fitz.
You look at his results so far this year, a 3rd, a 2nd, and no
year. I think you just got to keep going at this stage and recognise that it's going to
be backwards. And that was all coming in first. He came in at the first, obviously he's picking his way back through, but compromised race when he was about 10 seconds from his damage limitation. Teammate up there in 3rd, that's the net race lead. Vesti trying to pick his...
Prema really gave him the hurry up over the radio at the start of the race, potentially the issue, but We return to the front of the field in down towards T1.
So Vesti has now picked his way through all of the drivers that are avoiding action, and Daruvala's passing is all for nothing.
Zane Maloney had to make a little bit of avoiding action there. The pit stop procedures. Let's just cover this off with Daruvala. Gets himself in, but yeah, difficult movement for Daruvala and all the good work.
Was so close to the wall for Behrman, if not brushing for anything out there. Chasing the double around this circuit. Same applies to Behrman and the young talent. Pourchaire, runner-up last year, trying to come back and win it all in 2020. The halfway, intriguing battle for the win between Behrman and Pourchaire.
See drivers with pace like that don't quite get the results opportunity to change all four tyres. Those little bits of how pushing on. The reason he's pushing on is that particular lap. Teo push.
Oh, millimetres away. Fittipaldi with the fun up. We're at very close to midday local time. And as we head into Zin now, Miney once again doing a great job of forgetting about
some brilliant and utterly invisible tyre management going on. Never recovers. The way that these young drivers have built that and consideration in a way that sitting at home, the
insights from two-time Le Mans podium finisher Alex Brunstop phase as well, and that was down at turn 1. It's under investigation. That's not been noted. It's under investigation, so that only means weaving.
Yeah, it's two moves, isn't it? I think Daruvala might escape that one purely on the basis that, I mean, what is my shoulders up to my ears and make a screwed up face when they went
undo the damage in the orange MP Motorsport car. First time they took the title last year, MP Motorsport, they'd restructured, could have been 2 yesterday, got away late on. That's a feeling that Daruvala gone for a 10-second time penalty for Daruvala for leaving the track. And
it's a big deal. You can have a very rejoining, well, not rejoining, who was continuing on the circuit. Another angle of that, actually.
Lap out of these engines, turbocharged on the way down. Air off strip as he powers down to turn number 1, and this
to add to the potential loss through 18 and 19. Possible Hauger looking to the inside, but that tailwind. This is what happened to Jahan Daruvala.
Yeah, so let's review this. He's going to go deep. He's going to take a
left there. Not that you can see a huge amount left out of a car like this.
Brush with the wall that time.
It's almost the line, isn't it?
It is this left of that concrete block by the end of the weekend. It has taken some punish. Gap. Teo Pourchaire, it's 2.2 seconds at the moment, and you've got Fittipaldi back managed. But there is a telling amount of tyre marbles off the racing line here and off the race.
Lock a brake and just career straight into the side. Oliver Behrman through this phase. The pace of the Prema Red Bull liveried cut, and a Miney in his white. And that's the battle over the
brink in this one. Same point system as Formula 1 at the moment. Is very much had this thought for about 10 laps now, but they're not set.
Turn 1 and have now built temperature into the medium. I think Shiraisi pretty much got the hang of it.
Yeah.
And I think it's the even or in free practice and qualifying, down to lack of familiarity of team discussion and driving.
Their story of the race so far: immaculate first lap for the field. They were looking at race lead that he still holds. Vesti lost out in the pit stop as we tick into the final stages.
The interesting thing is Hadjar and Iwasaki, they might aim to come out. Whether they'll stay, because they'll, as we see Leclerc rearranging the tech pro, no, just keeps it out of.
As he's 1.9 seconds away from Pourchaire. He's best for all in his career. He's been able to do that a couple of times. 6
step forward, really was the leading light in the Shrews.
Especially when it's a team that doesn't traditionally run at the front, which has been the case. Notice
about jumping in a car that you might not expect to be at the front, and the mission comes when you're in a car in a position to perform. And you're in the system, you're required to perform, you're accountable to someone at the start to the year than he might have been expecting, as a driver that many tipped.
Fourths and fifths. If you're consistent, two great drivers to show you. Who's a multiple race winner last year, including at this circuit. How
There was that sage wisdom, another piece of feeder series paddock wisdom. Yeah. The problem is the competitiveness is such that if you're not trying to win, you'll, for example, like with Hulkenberg, where we know he's got race winning potential, but he fights for it, and it's not always worked out.
Yeah, yesterday felt sorry for him, unfairly biffed out of it on the restart in Australia, so at the moment racking up another second on the march. One is an MP Motorsport car, he's the one chasing us. Much better balance, a much better understanding today with the Rodin Carlin team. Porsche going to fight that one.
Yeah, around midway through this stint, Porsche just started for second place in this race with 6 laps to go. So he on the road as well, setting personal best first and middle. He's on the limit of keeping the podium, bizarrely, after pressuring the leader of the race.
Rather than podium, there's the defence. Fittipaldi knows he's got a big originally based in Miami in the last couple of years, but he always likes He's given room to turn the outside line to the inside line. Enzo
Fittipaldi, brave stuff and very fair stuff, it must be said, from Teo Porsche. ART jumping in with Deruvula, he's going to make the move again.
And this was the move for what will become second position, only fourth at the moment.
Particularly leading the race, they left him out there as long as possible, waiting for the 5 laps to go on a set of super soft tyres. Tyre was not that much better than the medium, so there will be.
It's just a qualifying tyre. It's losing performance by the end of even one push lap. With the tyres up to temperature and into the DRS zone, so still a little bit of. And Vesti miles back, getting shuffled back in that pit stop phase. When we had a driver well on the way to victory, late mistake, and it
lose concentration and make a mistake, especially around a circuit like this. Meanwhile, Aldi, which in turn is keeping him out of trouble from Martins for now.
Mini chicane that they've got on the way in there, the race director's instructions will always say. A while back now, about 40 minutes ago.
Sure, they will get to the end of this weekend down a crack in a chassis they didn't know was there, or something similar, because chill out, the lap and still win the race.
It's a nice sentence to hear. Seen drivers ignite a championship bid. Antonio Giovinazzi in the past, 1 year later, Charles Leclerc with an extraordinary performance, being another incredibly strong performance by a Prema driver. Drivers who have done the double in the second tier, well, you know their names.
But he actually did bleed.
You said chill out. Hold on a minute.
Bit of hassle, but was the fastest first sector of the race last time around from 50. Maybe doesn't need to keep on pushing on a little bit in the closing stages.
They're still learning as they're going. They're roughing off the edges as they can. Academy prospect and Formula 3 champion. It is on a different prospect of closing out a feature race win. There he is in your
day, when basically the full management of the Ferrari team pit lane in that car to deliver the victory.
Victor Martins is close to Teo Porsche. Which really tells the story of Martin's season. Great pace, but quite learned. Teams do their homework. Teams improve. The ones who put the hours in get the rewards.
After yesterday, consideration of all of the limited per square inch of tyre pressure becomes even more critical when there's done a storming job on that super soft tyre.
Showing the pace that he had overall, and extraordinarily in this contest. Look at how close the top 4 are.
Championship management going on from all 3 of them. Perhaps less so from Martin across the line, but it's been a good battle between these 3. A great drive.
Traditional finish, and what a performance for Oliver Behrman, who isn't scrapping with these 3. Oliver Behrman, who won the sprint race yesterday, and now he looks up, but it's Fittipaldi in second place. Teo Porsche takes it, who makes up places once again. It's Hauger, big 2, but this has been a statement weekend for Oliver Behrman.